What is going on, gamers, nerds, and geeks, and welcome to the live stream of the EA Play post-reaction right here on Mammoth Gamers. If you are watching us, you are seeing us live on YouTube, you are seeing us live on Facebook, and I believe Periscope as well. So thank you so much for stopping by and tuning in to the show here. I am A to the P, Albert Perkins, alongside my co-host here, Mark Kriska. Mark, what is going on, bro?
I am well. How are you and everyone out there? It's man, E3. It started.
Can't believe it's finally here, man.
It kind of started.
Here. Yeah, it kind of started, right?
Yeah, the pre-E3 is here.
Yeah. I can't believe it's time, man. Like, it just seems like it was just like, I mean, I know it was a year ago before, since the last one, obviously, but it just seems like the time just came so freaking quick this year, man. Like, oh,
well,
man.
It doesn't help with all the leaks and then subsequently game announcements like the entire month of June, not just this week. But no, I'm excited. This E3 is shaping up to be, or at least hype-wise, a very highly hyped one. Just because, even with all the leaks, there are a lot of things we don't know. So
yes, for sure. There's always that mystery game that. That nobody is necessarily talking about. So, that hasn't been introduced yet. So hopefully we'll get a few surprises along the way, Yeah. So, yeah, with that said, man, I mean, EA, they just had their EA Play event here. They just ended not too long ago.
Yeah, about an hour ago.
About an hour ago there. What can we say? What did you think? What you saw?
Do we want to go with the good stuff first, or just everything first?
Let's keep it positive here first. It's E3. We're hyped up. We're excited. Let's keep it on the positive side here at first.
Okay, positive notes. Andrea Rene knocked it out of the park. She wasn't there too often. Mm-hmm. She opened the show. She had a few interludes in between, and then she had an ending interview with Anthem, which felt genuine. Like, it didn't feel like EA set her up. It felt like it was more her asking her own questions, which I listened to What's Good Games. I listened to Kind of Funny. So as a fan of her, I knew what she was going to ask, and I knew like she wasn't going to hold back too much. Like, she knew what to ask, and it was positive questions, like easy answers kind of a thing. But it didn't feel scripted at all, which was really nice. So great job to EA scoring Andrea Rene, because she's great.
Yeah, she's fantastic. Yeah, does a great job with What's Good Games. Just obviously, like you said, just knocked it out of the park. Perfect home run selection there for a host.
Yeah, and I hope that I feel kind of bad for her, because there was a lot. Like, it seemed like the EA crowd was more business oriented than like gamer oriented. Not from like and only from like the reactions and stuff. Like, she would make a joke here and there, and then it would kind of
silence.
Yeah, and like it was they were good jokes, or like you could tell that she was really trying to hype up that crowd, but that crowd was a very rough crowd.
They just weren't having it. Yeah, they're just like, just get to the business, Andrea. Like, we don't care about your jokes, which is unfortunate,
Yeah, she's hilarious. But besides that, EA surprisingly got me super hyped in the beginning with their sizzle reel, like leading into the conference with all the games that we already knew and all the games that, like, of last year that were just there to get you really excited. They did a really good job with that hype trailer.
Yes.
I unfortunately don't think they delivered on that hype at all. But there were a few good hits. Battlefield 5.
Battlefield is going to be insane, bro. Oh,
it looked
goodness,
gorgeous, and they announced.
See if I can queue up a video for that as we're talking.
Because they announced later this year. Well, first of all, they announced no loot boxes and no play to wins or microtransactions.
Ooh,
so
okay,
it seems like Battlefield is learning from Battlefront a little bit, but that's great news. Like, I don't have problems with loot boxes. I don't have problems with cosmetic purchases, that kind of stuff, microtransactions, as long as it's not play to win. Like, you're not buying you're not getting gear or weapons that will make you better just because you purchased them.
Right.
But it seems like Battlefield, just to be safe, cut it all out completely.
Okay. Well, that's good. They're listening to the fans. That was a one one of the main things that a lot of people had, issues with when it came to Battlefront. The whole microtransaction. I mean, obviously, it was the biggest, the most reacted post on Reddit. I do believe it was. Yeah,
so that was like, and they addressed that.
That was insane, right? I mean, it blew up.
they addressed that too whenever they talked about Battlefront earlier or later in the show, which is like EA out of everything that I didn't really like about the presser. They did a really good job of being humans for like probably one of the first times I've ever seen them be humans.
Yes.
They didn't come out as a company. They did, but like. It was a very humbling company. Like you could tell that they were really trying their best to get the fans back and to do good on us. But I don't think they really know how to let go. And it wasn't even so that in general, the negative things are the games that were shown weren't blow you away games, and the games that. Like the way that the presser was organized was very 2005, 2006. Like we've moved past all of these like, and I guess some of them haven't moved past. Like Ubisoft seems like it's going in the right direction.
Yes.
Yeah. Like I'm not really sure. Bethesda seems to like do it well because they have a standard press conference, but it's very tiny and very short. Sony did away with the organized press conference altogether. Like you might see Sean Layden like 2-3 times during the press conference, and it's just trailer. So like, and then obviously Nintendo with their like tree houses and their Nintendo Directs, it's very different. But EA was like, nope, we're going PlayStation 3, Xbox 360, Wii era of press conference. Like it's gonna be full of cheese and it's gonna be full of boring moments. Like if you're not interested in the game, this segment is not for you. We're not gonna get you interested in the game. We're gonna get the person who is already excited about the game excited more about this game.
Yeah.
But like the Battlefield, I'm not a big Battlefield fan. But this game looks great. I'm really liking the direction that they're going with story. This time as like the main focus and doing more of like the hidden stories. I know not a lot of people, but there was a very vocal crowd that was being kind of assholes about the fact that there was a woman soldier on the cover because there was no women in World War II.
Yeah.
But they were like spies. There were a few women, major players in the World War II that were like covert agents kind of a thing. So it seems like that's the stories that they're going for. They're going for that like untold World War II story. And then they announced Battlefield 5 Royale.
Ooh, okay.
And I'm not I've been saying it since last year. During the podcast, that ocean combat, like it's going to be like I was excited for Call of Duties for a very specific reason, and that's the fact that there's a whole bunch of little maps, like the landmarks inside the Battle Royale map and Blops 4 are all maps that you visited before, like fan favorite maps of Call of Duty multiplayers.
Yeah.
So that would be really cool. You're running from Nuketown to something else. Battlefield 5 Battle Royale is going to be lit.
Insane.
We're going to have so much, like, it's going to be one of the first chaotic battle royales. We're going to get that in Call of Duty, but, like, if you're in a house and in Battlefield 5 Royale, you're not safe. That house could come completely down if a tank runs through it.
Oh, man.
Right? So
just like real life, that's what it should be, man.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly. So it's gonna be the most true to life combat game I think that has ever been made, just because you die, you're out. If you play solos, like that's it. There's 100 people in this map. They all airdrop in. You can get into a plane, you can get into a car, you can get it. Like, it literally will come down to how good are you at surviving?
Yes.
Can you survive these 100 people? And it's going to be the most nerve-wracking multiplayer game. I'm calling it right now.
It's going to be insane, man. Yeah. I got the single-player trailer going up now, playing now as we're talking and everything. It just ended.
Yeah. And that single-player trailer is amazing. Like,
yes,
the way that they're, like, again, they're going back to these stories that have never been told in World War II, which is so refreshing and also mind-numbing that we haven't told these stories out of, like, the 58 World War II games that we've had since
that we've played through. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I'm really excited. Like, Battlefield, surprisingly, was probably the jewel for me. I take that back. There is an indie game that I'm going to be talking about later that is my most anticipated EA game this year.
Game. Okay.
Of next year. But Battlefield surprised me. I went in there not really being excited for Battlefield, and now I left maybe buying it.
Nice.
Which is really, really cool.
Battlefield's good, man. I mean, you know, I played like the last two, Battlefield 4 and Battlefield 1. I'm very, very impressed. They're a different beast. You know, you can't just go in guns blazing like you do in Call of Duty. You got to work with your team and everything, or you'll just go down. You know, you'll go down in a blaze of glory, literally. And like, I'm showing the multiplayer trailer here now, as you guys can see there on Facebook and YouTube. And as you watch, you can see that you have to work together as a team. And you saw that. I think there was a shot earlier on in this trailer. You know, the building, it was just straight up just coming down as you know, as someone just
drove a tank right through.
Yeah.
Yep. Exactly.
Yeah, man, it's nuts. Like, oh my god, this is gonna be cool. So.
Yeah, it's definitely, besides Madden and FIFA, I would say Battlefield is probably EA's like main focus. Like, Battlefield, Madden, FIFA.
Yeah, and if I misspoke there, I meant if I said Battlefront, I meant Battlefield. I tend to do that. So sorry if I misspoke.
Those names aren't anywhere similar. I don't know why you would get so confused now.
No, not at all. They don't both contain the word battle, right? And
then an F word after.
Yeah. I'm sure a lot of people do that.
Oh, I do it all the time. I tend to do it the other way, though. I refer to Battlefront as Battlefield. I refer to everything as Battlefield.
Oh, yeah, right.
But speaking of Battlefront, that's actually next on my notes.
Oh, yeah, man. Let's talk a little bit about some Star Wars, huh?
They dropped some Star Wars news on us today.
Yes, they did. Yes, they did.
We'll talk about Battlefront 2 first, just because.
Yeah.
I'm gonna hurt all of you fans out there, fans of Star Wars. I love the prequels, and the prequels are coming to Battlefront 2. Like, I'm so excited for this.
Yes.
To play as Obi-Wan or General. Like, I can't even imagine how you play as General Grievous, just having like.
It's not even going to be fair, man. General Grievous is just going to dominate every.
It's going to be a shield of lightsabers that, if you get close to, kill you. Like, that's essentially what it is, because he's just going to be spinning them, and you're going to be shooting, and it's just going to deflect.
You know.
But my favorite character in all of Star Wars is Anakin.
Okay. Huge Anakin Skywalker fan.
I'm a huge Anakin Skywalker fan.
Nice.
And he is coming to Battlefront 2 as well, along with Obi-Wan Kenobi, young Obi-Wan. Ewan McGregor.
Young, okay.
Yeah,
you were the chosen one. That was pretty good, huh?
Yeah, it was very good. I wasn't expecting that. And then Count Dooku is.
Oh, man. I love Dooku as well. Dooku doesn't get the respect like all the other Sith Lords, man.
I feel like it's just because he hasn't done anything on screen that was like evil. So Darth Maul kills Qui-Gon, and he looks just menacing. And then he dies, and then doesn't die. He gets cut in half.
Right.
And then you get Dooku, who is just there. Like, he has this lightsaber, and he has this battle between Anakin and Yoda, and then the next time you see him, Anakin like kills him in 10 seconds.
Yeah, like just right in the beginning of the movie, right?
And then like Grievous always felt more menacing, and he's not even a Sith. He's just a droid that can move really quick. Mm-hmm. So I understand why Dooku doesn't get the respect that he deserves, but he does deserve a lot of respect. Like, Qui-Gon is who he is because of Dooku. Mm-hmm. So, but that's all besides the point. That's I'm really excited because they seem like they're really taking the criticism that they got when they launched Battlefront 2 to heart. It doesn't seem like the loot boxes are coming back in any significant way that they were before. It seems like the way that Battlefront... Yeah.
Sorry.
Lose your anger. No, but, like, I'm really excited to see what Battlefront 2 can become. I'm hoping they don't do the thing that a lot of games do, is they get it to where the fans finally enjoy it, and they're like, okay, you got the game that you wanted, we're done with it. Like, I hope they progress past that. But that's not all the Star Wars news we got. No. We got Respawn's. We got a little
Respawn's new Star Wars game, man. Yeah, like, I think that's a game that a lot of people have kind of forgotten about.
Oh yeah, especially with like the Amy Hennig one getting shut down, so exactly. Like everyone, I don't know if I think it's a mixture of we forgot and also we didn't want to get our hopes up because we didn't know what it was yet. But Respawn, the people behind Titanfall and Titanfall 2, are working on a Star Wars game, and they're working with Lucas, apparently, to create a... We didn't get any trailers, any screenshots. We just got a title and the era that it's set in. That's pretty much all we got.
Oh, man.
It's called Jedi Fallen Order, which already got me like, all right, you got me. Like, whatever this game is, whatever this game is, I'm going to buy. But you are apparently... They called it... They said the dark age of the Jedi, when they're all being hunted. It takes place during that.
During the Purge.
And whenever Vader's going around just wiping them all out, and you are apparently a Jedi during this time. It takes place in between Episode 3 and Episode 4, probably closer to Episode 3, I would imagine, if not span the entirety of that 18 years between Episode 3 and Episode 4. Perfect. So... I'm really excited to know more. They said that they would definitely be at E3 next year and expect a holiday 2019 release. So
okay, a little more than a year away from that. That's not too bad. Yeah,
I'm actually expecting a teaser trailer. They didn't say this, but I wouldn't be surprised if we got a teaser trailer at the Game Awards in December.
That would be nice.
Yeah,
I would be perfectly fine with that.
Might be just like a cinematic, not actual gameplay trailer, but something. Yeah. But that's I guess we'll talk about these two other games as well, because after this, it pretty much just tanks.
It tanks.
At least in my opinion, you guys might have liked it. If you liked it, I don't mean to offend you.
No, I feel you, man. Yeah, they probably should have saved the big. Well, I guess they kind of did save some of the big things for last. You know, obviously with Anthem, which we'll talk about and stuff. But yeah, I feel you.
But they revealed Unraveled 2.
Yeah, Unraveled 2 actually looked really cool. It looked really smooth. Right now. And yeah, exactly. That's the big thing. It's out now. Yeah, you can just go get it, right? Yeah.
Yep.
Super cool. Fantastic that they made that announcement that it's available right now. I totally didn't expect that as I was watching the the little preview that they had going on with the gameplay.
Yeah, and they didn't even make it seem like it was done. Like, they were just like, this is what you can do, this is what we want to do, and they use like future proverbs and like future like all right, this game's not going to come out for like another 2, 4, 5, 8 months, but nope, out right now.
No, it's out now, right now. Yeah. So is it like they were definitely? There's one thing that didn't get leaked at E3.
Yeah, Unraveled 2.
Yeah,
who would have guessed?
That's awesome.
There is a new game coming out. It's coming out next year. It's called Sea of Solitude.
Okay.
SOS. It's an indie game, and it's all about. You could tell she was really nervous, but I love seeing indie developers on stage, and I love seeing them like care so much about their game that they don't know what to say or how to like. Like the first few times we saw. I'm blanking on his name. No Man's Skies.
Guy. Oh, yeah. Sean Murray.
The first few times we saw Sean Murray, like, what really sold me on No Man's Sky is just, like... And I feel like it was genuine, and I don't hold as much grudge and anger towards No Man's Sky as other people do. Mm-hmm. But, like, you could just feel that, like, overwhelming sense of pride and terror, like, fear at the same time. And that's how she, like, presented this game. And basically what it is... It's an indie game. It's very textured and cel-shaded. it's all about she said solitude, so being alone, what humans are like alone, and how that turns us into monsters, and how the story is all about this woman who was so alone that she turned into a monster, and your job is to bring her back into becoming a human. But you can even tell that you're kind of becoming a monster because you're so alone. And the world, like she said, it's a fantastical world, but it's a very real story. So that is my most anticipated game from EA this year.
Okay.
Like, by far blew me away with not only the way it looked and, like, the idea of it, but also, like, just the heart and feeling of that game. So I'm really excited to play that. I've always been more of, like, a story-driven kind of guy and more of, like, a emotionally driven gamer. So
the same way, yeah. I didn't used to be that way. As I got older, I seemed to be a little more captivated when it came to the story of a video game. Before it was more about the controls and actually enjoying myself while playing it. Obviously I still enjoy those mechanics when it comes to gaming, but I definitely feel like the story drives the experience for me more as well. Yeah,
you hold on to it a little bit longer, like The Last of Us or Gone Home and stuff, like games like that.
Metal Gear,
exactly. But after that, like, what's really left is a bunch of meh stuff, and this is primarily the rest of the conference. So I'm not a big FIFA fan.
Yeah, I mean, FIFA's it's always a big hit for EA every single year.
It crushes.
Yeah, they do a fantastic job with it. It's always a huge hit every year whenever whenever FIFA comes out. They don't even add too much to it, but just people just freaking love soccer. So, I mean, that's the biggest game in the world, so that's what,
All the games that were announced, the game that, like, it surprisingly got me to care about the most.
Yeah.
But it's still it seems like FIFA is doing what FIFA always does and improving on last year's FIFA. It's not falling backwards. It's not staying stagnant. It's definitely improving. Which
Madden should take some notes. Oh, did I say that out loud? I'm sorry.
So Madden didn't really show anything.
Yeah, they didn't. Yeah, which was really disappointing. Yeah.
Yeah. They basically were really trying to drive home the fact that, like, anything could happen in a game, which is great. Awesome, whatever. But, like, they showed, I don't know if they showed any gameplay. It was all simulated, like, cutscenes.
Bullcrap. Yeah, that we always see with Madden every single time, and it just
it comes out in 2 months.
Yep.
No, 2 months. It comes out in August.
Oh, yeah.
So you couldn't show me, anything, even a little.
I'm gonna tell you right now. And I went ahead and I said, you probably seen the article up on mammothgamers.com if you guys follow us closely. I wrote an article about how the creative director, recently left Madden and everything, and I pretty much basically said that the game, I pretty much said that the game, I feel like, is in flux because he left. He left for a reason. There's definitely a reason why he left. Some kind of direction going on with, with Madden itself. Or lack thereof. Hopefully not, but
catching system. They didn't show a new tackling system. They didn't show a new crowd system. They showed no new systems. They brought out the winner of last year's Madden tournament.
Yeah.
Who I didn't really like, and they brought it out. I should have loved this because they brought it out with Juju Smith-Schuster, who is a star of the team that I root for.
Yes.
Like, he comes out all in yellow, talks about the Pittsburgh Steelers, all this stuff, and you can tell it was all scripted. You can tell that they can't act, so it's just a football player.
A teleprompter,
it's just a football player and a pro Madden player, like, trying to make funny jokes that they didn't write or know how to deliver.
Awkward.
So, and, like, it was just, they showed nothing. They showed nothing,
you
and
can tell they didn't do very well on rehearsal either because it didn't show up very well live.
Like, I'm surprised that EA did something that I didn't think anybody can do, and that's made NBA Live 09 look better than Madden.
Dude,
because they showed stuff from NBA Live.
NBA Live actually looked alright, and I'm a huge 2K fan. I've stuck with 2K through and through. NBA 2K, I think, is the best basketball franchise ever made. But like, I gotta say, NBA Live actually looked all right. But yeah, like you said, it definitely looked better than Madden, because Madden was just like it was just like a put together trailer made for YouTube.
Yeah, much, it was the Seahawks upsetting the Patriots, which by the way is a much more believable scenario than the Browns upsetting the Steelers.
Yeah.
And they showed 4 teams in the cinematic trailer, and it was those 4 teams, and they made it seem like the Browns were gonna like pull out a victory. Like, come on! Like, you couldn't have picked make it the Ravens if you're gonna show the Steelers.
Or pick a better rivalry. Yeah, that rivalry hasn't been there,
But whatever. I don't care. And also, if they're showing rivalries, I feel like the Giants and the Patriots are a much bigger rivalry than the Seahawks and the Patriots. But again, whatever.
Whatevs, yep. I feel you, man.
But NBA Live does look really good, and the thing that it also doesn't look very good at the same time. Like, you could tell that 2K definitely has, like, EA just cannot figure out how 2K makes these games look, because...
Yeah, they can't.
Like, so, what I like about what EA does, though, instead, they go, you know what, we can't make this game look as realistic as 2K, so let's make it different. So this one, it looks like they have Street, what is it? It looks like Street, Pro, and Backyard Basketball are all, like, smashed into this one game. So, like, you get to see people, like, you get to see basketball players on this, like, backyard. These are just, like, basically milk crates for hoops and stuff like that. And then you also get to see, like, the outdoors basketball league that, like, is semi-professional, more street basketball league. And then you get to see professional basketball. So I like what they're doing. I like that they're saying, okay, we can't deliver quality, so let's deliver content, which is smart. It probably won't pay out for them again. 2K is gonna kill them again, but at least they are trying. They are, if they can win categories, then that's only good for 2K, because then 2K will be forced to implement these categories and do them better. Right. So this is where I really enjoy competition, even though 2K is always going to be better, probably, even though 2K is going to be the fan favorite.
It keeps them on their toes, right?
Yeah, that's why Madden has become stagnant. Surprise, FIFA hasn't become stagnant. And why the show...
FIFA has they got the Pro Evolution Soccer, I believe that Konami does, right? Is that Konami that publishes that?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, at least they have that. But yeah, like you said, you make a perfect point when it comes to Madden. I mean, with the NFL, their exclusivity license with Electronic Arts Sports is just... man,
if you want to play football, that's how you do it. And
it's horrible, man. We need competition. We need EA to push their limits. We need their competition to push each other's limits. So, like, it's good for business. It's good for the industry.
PlayStation 4 wouldn't be what it is today if it wasn't for how well Xbox 360 crushed PlayStation 3 last year. Xbox 360 wouldn't be as good as it was if it wasn't for the fact that PS2 crushed Xbox the year prior, or the generation prior. So
the whole back and forth thing,
if you go with history, the next Xbox should crush the next PlayStation, because PlayStation 4 made Xbox have to reevaluate itself, and that's what games need as well. I'm surprised how well the show is doing as well, and how innovative they keep being.
But that's a good point.
Yeah, but you can even tell that they're kind of like trailing off, because a few years ago the show was everywhere. You heard about the show. I would like see people who'd never played the show playing the show. Now it's kind of like it's there, kind of a thing. But we'll see what happens with that kind of stuff. Then they showed. This is where I say they went gimmicky, and they went 2005 press conference. They showed a mobile game on stage.
That's interesting, because that's something that you do not see very often, ever.
Especially, and like, showing a mobile game. So, gamers, EA, if you're listening, which you're probably not, like, everyone plays mobile games, but gamers don't consider them games. Like, it's Command and Conquer, and it looks awesome. It looks like it's a real-time strategy game. They had shoutcasters come in and made it really exciting and all that kind of stuff. But, like, it's a mobile game. you're EA, you're at the Electronics what is it? The Electronics something Expo. What's it?
The Electronic Entertainment Expo.
Entertainment Expo.
Mm-hmm. I got you.
Show a game. Don't show a mobile game that you download for free and buy updates to. Like,
download now.
Yeah, exactly. Like, all right. Like, this is what scares me about our industry, and what scares a lot of gamers about our industry is we don't want our games to be phone exclusives. Like, great, EA, you have a mobile division, you're proud of it, this game looks really fun, this game looks really good. If you're into real-time strategy, if you're into Command and Conquer, you probably are like, yes, this is what I want out of my Command and Conquer. But, like, no one ever will consider this a mainline Command and Conquer game. No. So don't show it. Don't show it.
Yeah, but it would have been nice to maybe announce it in a press release, but I don't know if I would have shown it at a presentation. I concur with you. Yeah,
and like actually like, and don't even like just show a trailer and show like two people on stage playing with two shout. Like, it just felt very like Kinect-y. Like, here's Kinect. Let's look at all these people using Kinect on stage. Like, but then that's what kind of ended the show somewhat. Mm-hmm. I can't remember his name. And I'm missing a few things in there. I didn't mention the new Origin system, which seems like it's a little bit better, but nothing too major changes. It just basically, they're putting, I believe if I caught everything correctly, I was writing things down and taking notes during this part.
Sure.
It seemed like it was just new titles going on Origins. Like, not Origins, but EA Access and stuff.
EA Access, yeah.
But they brought the CEO of EA back out, and he gave a really good speech. Gave a really heartfelt speech about.
I did hear that. Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. He was talking about like how like we're listening to you and all that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, and which good. Like, EA, this is what you need to do. You need to get back in our good graces. Mm-hmm. And then they showed Anthem. So
Anthem,
was, like, crazy good showing.
Mm-hmm. Let me see if I can pull that trailer up while we talk about it.
Yeah. So last year when they announced Anthem, they called it a live world gear hunting loot game kind of a thing, but nobody really knew what that meant in terms of Anthem. So the only game that the industry compared it to was Destiny, because and I would argue still is the most successful open world loot game.
A lot of people would agree with you with that statement. Absolutely.
Not Destiny. It is not Destiny. Anthem is not EA's Destiny. I tweeted this out earlier once I watched it. Anthem is very single player, which is great. Like, mm-hmm. none of the things I'm about to say are negatives. I'm a huge Destiny fan. I didn't want it to be like Destiny because I didn't feel like hearing a bunch of people in my Twitter words. My Twitter feed, my Twitter space telling me that Anthem was a better Destiny than Destiny was. There's still going to be people. There's still going to be people who say that. But
yes,
Anthem is Monster Hunter. Anthem looks like it's going to play like Monster Hunter. Anthem teams up like Monster Hunter. Anthem is structured like Monster Hunter. It's just in a Destiny aesthetic design. So the way Monster Hunter Worlds work, if you're not familiar, which a lot of people really enjoy this, and I did too, and I still do, it's just I don't care enough about... Monster Hunter is going to be my fallback game whenever I don't have anything to do in Destiny. Whenever there's not a new game to be playing, Monster Hunter is going to be the game that I fall into, start gear hunting again, that kind of a thing.
Sure.
Anthem seems like that kind of a game where when you're at your home base, when you're at your HUD, it's strictly single player. That's where the story progresses. That's where it's all about you. There's no other people walking around. Whenever you go into a world on a mission, that's when your friends can team up with you. And that's how Monster Hunter works. You go out into the world, you hit an SOS, or you invite a friend, and they join your world. Up to 4 players can join your world. You go in, you kill the monster.
Hit the mission.
Yep, and then you go back to your HUD, and you do all the things you need to do at your HUD. And that's how this game feels. This game feels like a future apocalyptic sci-fi Monster Hunter. Like, if you took the feeling and the look and the world of Destiny and you just smashed it all inside of a Monster Hunter game. That's this.
That's Anthem.
That's Anthem. And I'm really excited that it is that, because a lot of people, a lot of the, I don't want to call them casual players, but a lot of the non-hardcore Destiny players jumped off of Destiny for Monster Hunter because they felt like Monster Hunter does Destiny better than Destiny does. Mm-hmm. But they didn't understand what Destiny was and has been. So this game's going to be for them. This is going to be their Destiny. That, like, if they wanted Destiny to play like Monster Hunter, this is it. It's a third-person action RPG. You pick a class. Like, each suit you can change before each mission. Like, so if your friends are running 3 of the 4, you can be the 4th one. And it looks beautiful. And
it looks absolutely gorgeous. Yeah.
And it looks like it plays amazingly.
The in-game footage, which you guys are seeing here now, that like in between like cutscenes and stuff, it looks like there's a seamless transition in between. There's
there's nothing yet.
No integration in terms of graphics.
Nope. And I'm sure this is on either a PC or an Xbox One X at the highest settings, blah blah blah. But even still, like, just aircom or flying through the air to get to the destination, then just right into the water, and then jumping up out of the water, shooting the thing that you need to shoot, killing everything. Like, it looks fantastic, it looks
flying
like
through the clouds. Look at that. I mean, it's just gorgeous.
Yeah, it just feels like Monster Hunter to me, and I'm excited to see if the rest of the industry feels the same, because prior to this, I was expecting a Destiny-like experience where you run through, you kill this monster, all this equipment falls, you pick up the equipment, all this gun's better, you change guns in mid-run, kind of like a Diablo kind of a feel.
Okay.
But it's not. It's definitely Monster Hunter, where you go out, you beat the thing, you probably have, like, here's all the things you just acquired. Now you go back to your HUD, you progress the story, you do the story cutscenes, whatever may be happening there, and then you upgrade your equipment, you change your loadout, you change the way that this armor looks, you change like they said that there's going to be 3D changes and just paint changes to your armor, so you can customize the way you look. It just feels so much like Monster Hunter to me. Monster Hunter Worlds, to be more specific.
Monster Hunter Worlds, yeah. The most recent Monster Hunter released, yeah.
So, like, I became way more excited about Anthem, but I feel like, depending on what was shown and depending on how people were receiving it, they may be less excited. Because they didn't show any new story bits. They didn't show any new... Like, they kind of did. They revealed, like, who you're fighting and why you're fighting them and why you exist in this world, but they made it seem like the story wasn't this. They talked about the story being their main focus, but they didn't show the story being their main.
Yeah, and that's the thing. A lot of people are going to be wondering, like, what is this game about? You know, you talk about Anthem, you know, you show it and everything. It's this futuristic sci-fi world where, you know, like you said, you're fighting off these monsters and, you know, you're teaming up with your friends and everything, but what's the plot? Like, what are we doing here? You know?
2 races that, something to do with the Anthem call, and so the gods made this world, but they stopped making it before it was done, and now these 2 races, or these 2 factions of gods are not at war with each other, but have split from each other. And the one faction has been making these monsters and these creatures that are just wreaking havoc, and you can't leave your home base without this suit. The world would literally kill you if you leave. So, like, it's yeah. So, like, it's a very cool world. It's very Mass Effect-y, which is I love Mass Effect, and like, it seems like they took Mass Effect, Destiny, smashed it together, and, like, poured it over top of a Monster Hunter. Like, so I'm excited. I don't mean anything I just said as, like,
as a negative
thing. I am super pumped for that. I just hope that that's what everybody else is okay with, because I feel like prior to this they thought it was going to be Destiny. which is fine. It still very much can be Destiny. It's still at its core a loot game. It's still at its core a shooting game. It's still at its core an alien, you're in armor and fighting a bunch of creatures game. I just feel like it's going to be systematically and play very closely to Monster Hunter.
Yeah, it definitely seems that way. As far as it goes, like the way you explain it and everything, it definitely seems like it's heading in that direction, and which is not necessarily a bad thing.
No,
obviously it's Monster Hunter Worlds is an extremely successful, extremely popular game.
Yep.
But maybe people weren't necessarily expecting that. Maybe people were thinking it was going to be something a little more different.
Yeah, I think they might have been. Like, I feel like some of the people were hoping for more of a single-player role-play game, which apparently it very much is still. You can play this entire game solo and not miss out on anything, and it just might be a little bit harder for you.
Yes. Yeah.
But it seems like it's more, like, you can only meet... It's a live world. The world you jump into is built to, like, they said... add in expansions, add in story, add in events, add in like basically what Destiny does, but more closely what Monster Hunter does. Monster Hunter has an event every month. Monster Hunter adds new monsters just randomly. They're like, oh, new monster in 2 days. Like, and I feel like that's what Anthem is striving for. And I don't think Anthem's trying to copy Monster Hunter, because Anthem was announced the same E3 that Monster Hunter was announced.
That's true.
Monster Hunter came out beginning of this year.
That's a good point.
So, beginning of this year. So, I feel like they weren't copying each other. I feel like it was more or less they both had the same vision. And it just Monster Hunter, or Capcom, saw it quicker and was able to kick out a Monster Hunter faster than BioWare was with Anthem. But I also think that BioWare is trying their best and hardest to get this game correct.
Yes, I feel like I was going to say, it feels like there's definitely a lot of pressure on this game. I think we talked about that a little bit pre-show, too.
Yeah, because they've already shut down the other BioWare studio. And I know some of our staff was really, really hoping for a Dragon Age announcement.
Yes.
But there's not enough people in BioWare anymore. BioWare Montreal, I think maybe it was.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Got shut down. It was definitely another BioWare studio after Mass Effect Andromeda's failure. So it's all hands on deck for Anthem, making sure Anthem gets out, making sure Anthem works, making sure Anthem is as perfect as they possibly can make it before the release date, just so that they can hit it. Because if this game launches and has problems, if this game launches and doesn't sell well, if this game launches and is a complete failure on all fronts, I hope they don't, and I hope I'm wrong, but I see one of two things happening. BioWare getting shut down completely, or BioWare getting sold. And if BioWare gets sold, I hope they don't get sold. I hope they just get cut. And BioWare becomes an independent studio again, because in my personal opinion, BioWare was the best whenever it wasn't aligned with EA. Mass Effect 1, Knights of the Old Republic,
right.
All these games that they came out with, all these games
so much, man. So much.
And they were all independent at the time. Like, BioWare wasn't owned by EA. Once they got owned by EA, and even Dragon Age 1, once EA picked them up, Mass Effect 2 was already pretty much done. So Mass Effect 2 came out and was stellar. Then we got Dragon Age Inquisition. I'm sorry, then we got Dragon Age 2. Then we got Mass Effect 3. Then we got Dragon Age Inquisition, which won Game of the Year, but was a launch game on brand new systems, and there was pretty much nothing else.
Right.
And then we got Mass Effect Andromeda. So out of the 5 games that they released post Mass Effect 2, I would say that critically maybe one did well, and that was Dragon Age Inquisition.
Yeah.
But from a fan's point of view, all 5 games were failures.
Definitely. Yeah.
So
I concur with you. Yeah.
So it's going to be interesting to see what Anthem does. I know a lot of people that are excited about it. I follow a lot of Destiny content creators, I guess is the easiest way to, like, news, stuff like that, and a lot of them are coming out with simultaneous Destiny and Anthem channels. And a few of them actually have Warframe and Monster Hunter trailer channels as well. But like, I'm excited and anxious to see the industry's reaction, because I haven't seen anything reactive in this game yet.
Not at all. Not at all. It seems very, like, just kind of null. I mean, just kind of meh. Yeah, it looks cool. Yeah,
exactly. Like, and Anthem.
Not many. I don't hear many people talking about it. I have a lot of friends, that play games. Not a single one of them has mentioned their excitement for Anthem. Not one. And
that's bad.
That's bad. That's discouraging. I do want to see the game go, obviously do well, but if you're not seeing people talking about it now, then
they have a lot of work to get, like, and they still have time. They have another E3 that they'll be at, because they said I think holiday 2019.
Yeah.
So they have another E3.
So one more. Yeah.
They have Gamescast. They have Video Game Awards.
Yeah, the Game Awards. Yep. Yeah.
So they have that. They can show another trailer too. That not really interviewee. Personally, and I know they're not going to do this because EA is in bed with Xbox, which is fine. The best thing that they could probably do is show up at PSX, because PSX now is, let's sit down with the developers, talk to them, see what they have going on, and we can show a new segment of the game, talk about in depth on what's going on.
Talk a little bit more about the story.
Yeah. So like that would be perfect for them, but I don't know if they would be able to do that or can do that, because like I said, EA is very Xbox oriented now, which is fine. Activision's very PlayStation oriented now. It was reversed last generation. EA was always giving PlayStation the content, while Activision was always giving Microsoft the content.
Yes.
But that's just how it goes. But maybe they can come out with, like, the problem with them coming out with the message is it feels like it's directed and not as genuine as it could be, and I don't think Xbox would do it. Like, Xbox, they don't really do anything on them, like, kind of like PlayStation. They have, whenever they release something, it's to their fans.
Yeah.
So, like, if Xbox did an interview with BioWare about Anthem,
for the fans, right?
Yeah, exactly. So if Xbox did something with EA for Anthem, I probably wouldn't see it, because I don't really follow too much of Xbox stuff. But like, maybe they can do like a Game Informer. They'll probably do like a Game Informer spread, and maybe they can, like, I know IGN does that first look stuff like that. They need to get out there and get ahead of, because even if they came out and showed the most spectacular game anyone's ever seen, they have a wall of doubt and a wall of broken trust that they have to burst through. And they showed a very good looking game, and they needed to show a stellar, great looking game.
Yes.
So they, like, to the point to where most of this conference should have been about Anthem. Like, almost all of it should have been about Anthem. Cut out the mobile stuff, cut out the NBA.
Yeah, the mobile stuff wasn't even needed. Yeah, you should have just, at that point, they should have just kept talking about Anthem. Like you said, there's no reason to talk about the mobile game. Like I mentioned before, I mean, that's something that, that you mentioned in a PR release.
Yeah.
You sent out to the media. Yeah, we got this new game coming out. Da 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 da.
Be excited for it at the end. Yeah. And then, like, this conference should have been Sizzle Reel, Battlefront. Sizzle Reel, Battlefield.
Yeah.
Maybe Unravel 2 and Sea of Solitude, and then
with a little bit of Battlefront, obviously, with the new,
with that kind of like update, and then just straight into Anthem. Like, you could have cut NBA, you could have cut, like, keep FIFA in there, and you know what, keep NBA in there, cut Madden, like.
Madden wasn't even necessary. Madden was a joke, man. I'm telling you, don't get me started.
But like that, they could have cut all of that and just added more time to Anthem. They had a Q&A at the end of it, which didn't really help too much. Like, we still don't really know like, she asked specific questions and they gave her answers, but like, I still don't know how the story progresses. Like, does a story only progress whenever I'm at the HUD? Does a story progress? Is there like story missions that I see out in the world and like a little exclamation point that I have to go out and get to? Mm-hmm. Is it just like you go to the HUD, they tell you to do this thing, you go do this thing, you come back to the HUD, and now there's a more story beat, which is probably honestly how it's going to go, because if you go out into the world, you die. So all the human interaction that you're going to have is going to be in the HUD, which is a single player experience. So like the only time you're going to be interacting with people is whenever you're out doing the thing in the world, which is going to be void of pretty much any human life, because it's all going to be unaffected biological life that you have to take down, and then you come back.
And you come back in through, yeah.
Yeah. So, like, which is disappointing. It just feels like a smaller picture than I wanted. I wanted more of like, I want Mass Effect 2, and EA could have destroyed this press conference if they just came out and said Mass Effect Collection for PS4 and Xbox One.
It would have erupted, man.
The building would have come down.
Yes.
And they're just not, like, they could, just like Nintendo. I never understood why Nintendo wouldn't make a Pokemon game, but they seem like they're going to now.
They're going to now, yeah. Yeah, and we'll obviously talk about that in the coming days, but...
Like...
Yeah.
There's certain...
What the fans want, damn it.
Yeah. We want it for, like, just look at Crash Bandicoot. Like, Crash Bandicoot was one of the best PlayStation 4 games ever sold, and now it's coming to other things, which breaks my heart. That's a whole nother conversation. But, like, it's only going to sell better, and it's what the fans wanted. It might not have been a great business decision, but Activision was like, you know what? Sony came to them. They said, we'll bill it. We'll put the money out for it. Just do it. And then now it's everywhere. We're getting a Spyro remastered collection. Final Fantasy VII may be a ways off, but Square finally said, fine, we'll do it, instead of being like, no, we want another Final Fantasy game to do better than Final Fantasy VII, then we'll remaster stuff. No, just, if you want to make money, make Final Fantasy VII. EA, if you want to make money, remake Mass Effect 1, 2, and 3, and then you're fine. You'll be set for another 8 years, guaranteed.
Yep, I agree. It's like basic. Maybe I don't know if they just don't like.
I think it's a pride thing.
Yeah, they just want to go by their own methods, or they don't want to listen to the fans. But I mean, when it comes to this stuff, if you, I mean, you could just take PlayStation as an example. You just they listen to the fans.
They changed from PlayStation 3.
Yep.
The PlayStation 4. They got away with all the stupid stuff. Here's a box that plays games that you wanted to play. The end. Mm-hmm. And then that's what, like, it may be, you guys may, like, I know you guys want to innovate. I know you guys want to make new things that aren't the same old things. You can continue to do that, while also, it can't take, like, you already have a collection. Yeah, you already have the collection on Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3, and I think PC. The Shepherd collection, and all you need to do is just port it. Just port it over.
Sounds like, pretty simple.
Yeah, like you did it. You did it with Burnout Paradise, a game that came out like the launch PS3.
What a great point. Yeah,
like you did it to a game that, like, I don't want to say nobody cares about. A lot of people care about, but you did it to a game that definitely didn't age very well. And it still sold good. Like, I saw people playing it. I saw people wanting to play it. But, like, whatever. This is nothing that even EA's done at the conference. It's what they didn't do that they could have done. But it's whatever. It's over with. I personally, good news is can't see another major conference. Not to say Digital Devolver or the PC Gamer conference aren't as big, but they're definitely not the focus of E3.
Right.
It's Square Enix this year, Ubisoft, Bethesda, Sony, Xbox, and Nintendo's Direct. Those 6, I can't see being worse.
I agree.
So it only can get better from here.
Yeah,
so which is great. Even Bethesda's, I think, is going to be better, and we pretty much know everything Bethesda has.
That's right. Yeah, because thanks to Walmart Canada, we already know.
Right, and then for some reason they decided to announce Fallout 46, 76?
Yeah,
76.
Yeah.
But since
one of those numbers.
Since they did that on their own, I am now like in super speculative Mark mode, thinking, all right, they have a giant game. Like, I can't see Rage 2 being their crown jewel, and maybe Fallout is their crown jewel. I know Fallout is, but like maybe this one is, but I don't think so. I think this is going to be more like a Outer Scrolls Online, and I think they have something else hidden that they're going to show. So I can only see these next few shows being much better than
what we already have now. Yeah,
and EA technically wasn't part of E3; it's prior, so E3 can still be saved.
Oh man, we'll have to wait and see, I guess, and definitely tune into those other press conferences and everything and see what we have going down. 'Cause it definitely looks like you mentioned, it can only go up from here because what EA showed at first looked great, but from there it was just like beer.
Exactly. Yeah. If you didn't watch EA's press conference, you didn't really miss anything. You can just watch the trailers, which we ran probably the most significant ones during the stream.
Yeah, which was mostly Anthem.
Yeah.
I showed Anthem. I showed Star Wars, Battlefront, and then Battlefield 5 as well. Those three are the ones I would say you want to pay attention to most.
Those are your big ones. And if you guys are interested in anything we talked about story-wise, definitely check out Sea of Solitude. It's not impressive. It's just very emotional. Not even emotional. It's very promising, I guess is the correct word.
Yeah, definitely. So, and then Unravel 2.
Yeah, that game looked gorgeous.
Yeah,
it's
absolutely.
Like
super smooth, textures just.
And if you have somebody to play with, even better, like a significant other or a child of some sort. Like, if you just are a friend.
Great point. Yeah,
like that is they designed that game, they said, as a co-op game, but if you want to play it by yourself, it's still very much a co-op game. They just designed it to where you play singly, so like you still control two characters, and you have to figure out the puzzles as two characters. That doesn't change at all, which is perfect because that means the game has been made from the ground up with two people in mind. They just figured out a way to get you from point A to point B as a single person.
Yeah.
So I'm really excited to see what that game does, and it's out now if you guys are interested in that.
It's crazy. It's available now. Yeah. That was another definitely a positive.
That was a
point.
surprise. Yeah,
I heard that and I was like, oh, right now. And my stepdaughter was all like, Can we get it? And I was like, whoa, you can pump the brakes with all that.
Yo, we don't know if it's good or not yet.
Right, yeah.
But Yarny is a very cute character. I don't hold it against her for wanting to play that game. So
awesome stuff. Good stuff. So yeah, with that said, I guess that pretty much wraps up our EA recap here. Looks like we've been going on the stream now for about an hour. I think we pretty much covered everything as far as EA goes. But you definitely guys make sure you keep it locked to mammothgamers.com. We'll have complete written recaps as well. We're gonna have video recaps as such as this one, post show reactions, live on Facebook, live on our YouTube channel here as well. You're in the right spot. You definitely want to make sure you keep it locked right here because we're definitely going to be keeping it 100.
Yeah, and I hope you like seeing these two faces because Al and I are pretty much going to be doing all the recaps except for Nintendo's. If you follow the Mootcast, you'll see me and Brian, who will be doing the Nintendo recap. He wants
definitely. to do I don't think you guys are going to have that one up live, but
no, it won't be live, but it'll definitely be up.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, just we'll be uploading the video, and then we'll have it available on Facebook and YouTube as well. So
yeah, and which conference is the first conference on Monday?
On Monday, I'm not sure. I don't have the schedule in front of me right now. Yeah. Let me see if I can pull that up real quick though. That's a good question.
I only bring it up so you viewers out there will know. Whatever one that is, we may not have a live stream of or a video recap at all. unless Al, you would like to do one later, which I'm okay with. It's too early in the day for both of us to get that one.
Yeah, the one on Monday, if they're earlier in the day, I'm unfortunately not going to be available.
I think it. Yeah. I honestly think it's just the one. The if it's, I want to say it's Ubisoft's, which is really heartbreaking to me because I'm super pumped for Ubisoft's conference.
Ubisoft's always fun to watch, man.
Yeah. But I think whatever one it is, it's either Ubisoft or Square. That's at 1:00, which I will be getting out of work at 2. Mm-hmm. So I will be getting out of work right when the conference ends, which I can. I won't. I could do a video stream. Don't really know if anybody else is available. So whatever the first one is on Monday, we might not have a stream up. Probably not.
Probably not immediately, at least.
Yeah, at least not live.
Yeah. Possibly. I'm going to try to aim to get to work a little earlier on Monday and everything. Maybe get there around 7, so I can get out of there maybe a little earlier, maybe get her out around 4. And, then from there, maybe we can start it up as soon as I get home and everything. Even if it's a little late.
I think at 4 or 4:30 is Square.
Oh, that's right. You're right.
So we'll have to hit Square, then do a live recap after that. We might be able to get one in between Square, and we might be able to do the Ubisoft one in between Square and Sony, because Sony is not until 9:30.
Yeah, that shouldn't be a problem.
Yeah, so you probably get an Ubisoft one. That's assuming Ubisoft is the early one on Monday. Mm-hmm. You'll probably get an Ubisoft one later in the day. But then we'll hit it hard with Sony, and then we'll have Xboxes tomorrow. Xbox doesn't start till 4:00 tomorrow or 4:30 tomorrow. So we'll have the Xbox Live reaction tomorrow. Then Bethesda's later tomorrow night.
Yeah.
Then we'll start. I'm just gonna run with it, saying that Ubisoft's first and then Square is second. So then we'll have Square's live.
I think.
Yeah, we'll have Square's live, then Ubisoft's probably. And then Sony's, and then we won't have a live one of Nintendo, but you'll see me and Brian doing the Nintendo one on Tuesday.
Have a video at least, yeah.
Yeah, and he's a huge Devolver fan, and he is a crazy boy. So he really wants to do there's a Devolver conference. So depending on what he wants to do, it's not until late Monday night. I think it doesn't start till 12:00 our time Monday.
Okay.
So we might be doing a Devolver recap on Tuesday.
Sick.
Putting the Devolver one up, and then watching Nintendo's live, and then doing a immediate post review or recap, and then putting that up as fast as possible.
Yeah.
So we'll have everyone.
We got it on lock as far as coverage, man. Yeah, there's no doubt about that. We definitely have coverage wall to wall for each conference, so you're definitely in the right spot.
Yes, you are.
Good stuff. So yeah, like I said, our EA recap, written recap, will be going live very shortly on mammothgamers.com. Make sure you guys keep it locked over there. And additionally, we will be seeing you guys here on the YouTubes and the Facebooks. So definitely make sure you're keeping it locked. So, and also make sure you follow us on Twitter. Our Twitter handle is @mammoth_gamers. You can hit us up on there. We're on Facebook. Just search for Mammoth Gamers News, and it should pop right up. Additionally, myself, I am on Twitter. You can follow me @AlbertPerkins. I'm also on Facebook and all the other social media outlets. You can just search for me, and I'll pop right up.
I lied.
Uh-oh.
Square Enix is first on Monday.
Oh, okay.
So you'll be getting a late recap of Square Enix and a live streaming recap of Ubisoft. Ubisoft is after. So that's good news for me, because all I really care about from Square is Kingdom Hearts 3 and Final Fantasy VII Remake, which I will be floored if Remake doesn't show up on Sony stage versus Square stage. But what do I know? Square probably needs all the games they can possibly get to announce. And if you want to follow me, I'm at Lost Heroes 13 on everything. except for Instagram. That's mark.kriska13. But I'm rarely on that. And also follow us on Mammoth. I think you went through all the Mammoth channels.
Yeah, pretty much. Even Instagram, I believe it's at Mammoth Gamers, no underscore. Hasn't been updated in a while. Will be here, getting updated a lot more often here shortly. But yeah, primarily you want to make sure you're following us on Facebook and Twitter for sure.
And Twitter, yeah. We tweet out a lot. And then if you are, if you enjoy the Nintendo review and recap, then definitely check out me and Brian and our podcast on the Mootcast, which is also on Mammoth that you can find. So
right on. Yeah, you can just go right on the podcast tab, I believe right on the top of the page. Hit them up.
Yep.
Fantastic stuff. And then as far as other E3 coverage, we have plenty of opinion editorials posted on the site as far as E3 related information is, news, you name it. Just head on over to mammothgamers.com. You'll see a banner right up top for our E3 stuff. You just click that banner, take you right to our E3 page.
It looks like a warning, but it's an actual banner. You can click on it.
It does look like a warning, huh? I'm trying to get everybody's attention to drive traffic to the page. Like, hey, this is E3. Check out our E3 information on our page over there. So
our site is safe. When I clicked on it, I was like, oh shit, what happened? And then I was, oh, it's E3 stuff. And then, but like, it gets your attention.
I assure you, there's no viruses. Yeah, we're good. We're good.
And we'll have opinion pieces and first looks and recaps and all that kind of stuff written out on Mammoth. So
absolutely, yeah, definitely keep it locked all week long, all E3 week long. E3 is here, and we are
busy week. It's our first. It's my first E3 with Mammoth that we weren't at E3. So
yeah, sure enough. Yeah.
But that just means we have extra work to do because all hands are on deck, not on stage and like at the conference. So, but
is what it is, man. We got it on lock.
Yeah, we do.
Yep. So yeah, I guess that pretty much wraps up EA's event here, our post-reaction show. Thank you guys so much for tuning in and stopping by. And yeah, keep it locked. We'll be back here with more exciting reactions to all the other press events coming up here. Following the following and coming days.
Do you want to do a rating, or do you want to leave that out? Like, good, bad, or ugly? Or great, good, bad, or ugly, I guess we should say.
I would probably say it was... What was it? Great, good, bad, or ugly?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I personally would say bad. I don't think it was ugly. There was definitely some good things in there. It wasn't Konami a few years ago. Which, you need to... You listeners, if you haven't looked at the article, who was it, Ken, that wrote the top 10 cringy moments of E3's
no, that was Jason. Yeah, Jason. Yeah.
Knocked it out of the park. It's beautiful. So it definitely it doesn't deserve to be on that list. So I say it's bad.
Yeah, I'd probably concur. I'd probably say bad, maybe leaning a little towards good. But
yeah,
that whole mobile thing wasn't necessary. Like I keep saying over and over again, that could have been a press release. So
yeah, you
just wasted a little bit of time there, EA.
I'm gonna write down on each notes I do now. I'm gonna write down what I think great, good, bad, ugly.
Okay. I like it, man. Good stuff. Yeah, we'll definitely utilize those for the next ones as well, with the ratings and everything.
Yeah.
Cool, good stuff. All right, well, yeah, I guess that wraps up EA's press event for as far as post-show reaction. Like I said, make sure you keep it locked right here, and we will have more in the coming hours when it comes to E3 2018.
Oh, yeah. Goodbye, everyone.
All right, we'll see you next time, guys. Have a great one.